My name is Corey, and Corey Luckner. I'm one of the owners of First Class Medical. You don't get to see her, but she's one of my favorite employees here. Her name's Lisa. She's going to be doing all the videos and the photography and all that for us that you see on our site. So when with the First Class Medical Live, we're going to try to start doing this around 11 every day, 11 Mountain Standard Time every day. And we want to basically just go over stuff in the medical field as far as the oxygen side of things. We want to go over the portable oxygen concentrators, which if you haven't heard of us, that's what we're known for. We're one of the largest portable oxygen concentrators distributors in the country. And I want to be able to help you guys out with deciding which portable is best for you, helping with even after the portable oxygen concentrator purchase, kind of what you need to do for travel, and all the other different stuff that you probably need to know when you have a portable oxygen concentrator or when you're on oxygen. So, Lisa, what was the name of this that you wanted to call this again?
O2 Classroom.
So we're going to call it the O2 Classroom by First Class Medical every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So make sure to join us. While we're waiting for some more people to get on to the live, I'm going to go over a little bit about us, and I want to talk about basically First Class Medical, where we're basically why we decided to do this and how long we've been doing it for. So I'm on our Denver, Colorado location. The reason why I'm wearing the Avalanche hat, born and raised here, and this is one of the many locations that we have. We're also out of the state of Florida as well, but I'm the lucky one in Denver, Colorado. So I've always said that to everybody I talk to. We've been doing this here in Colorado at least for about 8 years now, going on to 9. Our sister company, that we have pharmacies and such in Florida, they've been around for almost over 40 years now. So a business partner there, he was a respiratory therapist himself, so he's been doing this for a good time, and myself have now been doing this for a good time. We are, once again, out of Denver, Colorado, or Englewood, Colorado, about 20 minutes south of Denver. We have a location in Lake City, Florida. We have our own repair center, which is nice. We're actually one of the only online retailers with our own repair center, where we have trained technicians that will look at the machines, repair the machines, send them out to you, so you don't have to go through some middleman to have it go to a manufacturer and all that. So we have a great team there in Florida that deals with it. And then, we have actually my other business partner is my mother, who is here with me, and then Caleb, who is out of Florida as well, and Scott. So hopefully you'll be able to see them one of these videos, because I know we like to try to be more personal, keep personal with our customers, so you kind of get to learn a little bit about us, know who we are. But yeah, it's love doing this. I love the fact that it's funny because we were picking a spot in the office to do it, and I saw thank you cards. So it's great. I love the industry. We help a lot of people, and it's cool to see these kind of thank you cards, because it allows the oxygen patients that always thought they were going to be kind of tied to the tubes at home or the tanks and home concentrator at home, that thought they would never be able to travel again. It allows you to go travel, see your family, your loved ones, go see the world again, something that you probably had a dream of when you were a kid and growing up, and maybe didn't get to do quite yet because life is crazy. But it's really nice to see just what these portable oxygen concentrators do for customers. And once again, we're going to do this little O2 class here every week, just to try to help you maybe make your decision, or if you have a portable, how to basically do the things you want to do in life and be prepared. So to start off today's segment, what we're going to talk about is going to be really focused on what the portable concentrators are focused on, and that's traveling. This is a busy time of the year because folks are looking to travel. Summer is just right around, today's the 19th, so 2 more days till summer. So I know people are already traveling. I know here in Colorado our weather has been pretty warm. So people are looking to travel now. In order to travel, you need a portable oxygen concentrator. You can't use oxygen tanks because the airlines will not allow you. You can use theirs if for any reason there's a medical issue that happens, an emergency. But as far as trying to bring your tanks on board, if you haven't tried or have tried, you found out that they're not going to let you, and you either need to rent or purchase a portable oxygen concentrator. So in doing so, today I'm not going to talk to any of you about products. Since this is our first one, I want to make sure everybody knows we're going to do this. So probably next week we'll probably grab one of the products here, go over it, have we'll have a Q&A at the end, so any questions you have, we'll make sure that we answer those. If I don't get to them, you can always message us on our Facebook page or email us or join us the next week, and we'll be able to answer your questions there. So when traveling with a portable oxygen concentrator, we do see this on a lot of, like, we advertise on Facebook and we have forums and we have all the stuff that we read, and a lot of customers that we see have a lot of questions as far as what do I need to do or worry about when I'm going from A to B. One of the biggest things obviously is always talk to your doctor. Let him know where you're going. He'll have, or he or she will have their advice as well, but some of the things you want to really be worried about when traveling by plane and car is, first off, where you're going, because if you're going from like Colorado to Florida, you're going to want to know the altitude change, the humidity, or vice versa, Florida to Colorado, for example. When you're going from Florida from that sea level to Colorado to mile high, you're going to be looking at thinner air, which means less oxygen to breathe. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a unit that has the correct settings, just in case if you do need to bump it up. You also want to make sure you have the correct unit that can handle the altitude. A lot of these go up to, like, I believe 13,000 feet. Range is kind of between 9,000 and 13,000 feet. Some actually only 8,000, I know. So a lot of people as well go, well, 8,000 feet on a portable oxygen concentrator, how is that going to work in plane? The good news is they actually pressurize the cabins to 8,000. Right? At least that's 8,000. Yep. I have so many numbers in my head. Sometimes I have to give reassurance. So 8,000 is what they actually pressurize the cabin to in the airline. So when you're on board a plane, you don't have to worry that you're 30,000 feet up in the air and that your concentrator will quit on you. So once again, altitude is a huge part because you want to make sure you have the right oxygen levels to move up to. If you're on a 2 and you only have a concentrator 2, you might need one that goes to 3. When you're looking at humidity, so now we're talking about going from Colorado here to Florida, humidity is going to bring in the moisture, which then is going to cause less oxygen to breathe, which then also causes more allergens and pollutants such that are in the air. So then allergies are more prone, and you want to make sure that you're prepared for that as well. Always get a copy of your RX when traveling, definitely on board a plane, because they will require that to show that you are on oxygen, so you can bring it on board a plane. Also, they're going to want to know, like for some patients, which I'll get into next, is you need to have 150% battery life. So if your flight is 4 hours, they want you to have 6 hours battery life. Really, the only way to go around that in some cases, and this isn't always the case, is you have to have a prescription that shows that you don't necessarily need the oxygen 24/7. So prescription is always needed from the airline to know that you are going to use it, and whether or not you're going to use it the whole time on the plane or if you're going to only use it part-time. TSA, you want to always arrive early because you're going to go through some screening, some checking, and you have to also make sure that you're doing everything right. You're always, if you need to have the oxygen on you and you can't take it off for any longer than a minute, you'll want to ask for a private search so that you can keep the oxygen on, not to disconnect from it, and then they can search you on the side. If you are able to disconnect from your oxygen, you want to make sure that you just put that on that little layer belt, conveyor belt with the carry-ons that you do. They are safe to go through that belt and get the x-ray and all that. So you are able to do that. Each airline has their own requirements with basically what is required before going on a plane. So I recommend always, I know some or most are like 24, 48 hour notice that you actually have it. I recommend obviously doing that before. You can always go to the airline and then they have a section on their site where you can kind of see the forms that they have and all that, or your doctor may know as well. Personally, I recommend calling them because it's the easiest way to go. But calling them and seeing what that specific airline needs. But normally what they'll need is a prescription showing that you're on oxygen, a letter from your doctor usually on top of that, just to let them know, like, once again, go into more detail of the oxygen and what you're going to be using it for. And then they're going to want to basically just know that you're going to be bringing oxygen on board. So going back to the battery life, once again, just to repeat, because this is a huge thing that we get. And if you have a 4-hour flight and you show up to that airline or to board the plane with a battery life of 4 hours, so just covering just that flight, they will not let you on. They're going to say, nope, you're not allowed on, you're going to be stuck where you're at. The reason for that is with delays and stuff that can possibly happen, they want to make sure that you have all the oxygen you need just in case if that does happen. I know with some airlines, but a lot of airlines actually I've been flying on lately, there's been like the AC power supply in it. So then the great part is you plug in that unit to the AC power supply, you can use the unit, charge the battery at the same time. Fortunately, that's not the case for every plane right now. So I don't know if they'll ever make adjustments to the battery life. Possibly, hopefully they will, because these airlines are starting to put the AC power supply in. But another huge thing that we've never really mentioned here with our respiratory specialists here and all that I don't really hear them mention, but Lisa actually brought this up, which was great. There was a lady not too long ago that was flying in Hawaii, so your local flights, you're going to want to make sure that you have the requirements for them as well and find out what their requirements are. So like this lady was in Hawaii, she just tried to take a local flight to another island, so just to another island, and they wouldn't let her go on the plane due to the fact that the requirements were not met as far as battery life and all that kind of stuff. So even local flights, when you think this is going to be a quick flight, you still want to check what the requirements are, because you're going to hate going on a vacation to Hawaii, for example, trying to get to another island that you're going to have a beautiful time at and not be able to get there because you didn't have the requirements met. Road trips. Now, the road trips, they are pretty easy. The portable oxygen concentrators have made road trips like one of the easiest things that you can do. I mean, oxygen tanks, you can have them. Personally, I'm not on oxygen. I have heard the horror stories of the tanks where they have them in the car, it gets hot, you leave them in there, or heck, who knows, accidents do happen. So if you get in an accident with an oxygen tank, you're basically, I mean, those things can blow up. With the portable oxygen concentrator, then also you have to worry about the refills, and you have to worry about replacing the tank and keeping an eye on your oxygen levels. One of my favorite things about the portable oxygen concentrators is you can just plug it into your car DC power supply. So the DC power supply itself, you want to aim to have the closest DC power supply to the battery. Just a heads up, so little tip. Plug the cigarette lighter in that's closest to the battery of the car. You're going to want to basically plug that into the car, and you can use the unit. And not all units can be used on the DC power supply and charge a battery, but all units can be used and at least hold the battery life to wherever it's at. So if you have 2 hours left on your battery and plug it into DC, it will stay at 2 hours battery life until you unplug. Most of the units, though, if you're plugged into the DC power supply, definitely these newer units, you can actually use the unit and charge a battery just like you would at the wall or at the house or in a wall outlet. So these battery lives that we're talking about, so I know we're focused kind of just on traveling by plane and all that, but a lot of people go, man, the 3 hours of battery life, because some portables do only have 3 hours being at their steady flow or whatever it is. That's not a lot of battery life. Well, you don't realize that you're only running off that battery life when you're not plugged into a cigarette lighter in a car or a wall outlet at home or anywhere else that you're out and about. So you're only limited to the battery life when you're not actually plugged into one of those power sources. So just the best way to think about it is like your cell phone, for example. As long as it's plugged in, it's charging and you can use it. And if it's not plugged in, then you're going based off the battery life. So a couple things just to make sure that you do with the portable concentrator if you are taking a road trip is do a trial run on the unit before your trip. They are machines, so not everything's perfect. You just want to make sure everything's working. I know a lot of customers will sometimes store their portable concentrator because they're not doing much traveling during the cold time, and all of a sudden they pull it back out for the trip the day before, the day of, and sometimes, I mean, you've been sitting there for a good 6 to 8 months. You definitely want to give it a trial run, make sure everything's properly working and that you are good to safely go on your trip. And also don't leave your concentrator in the trunk. It is an expensive unit. You don't want to break just in case of an accident does happen. Also, it can get very hot in the trunk during this time of the year. So make sure that you have it in the main body of your car where you're sitting. They are small. They will fit right into the where your feet go down there. And they fit very easy and snug. That's another thing I didn't mention on the plane too that we get a lot of questions about is even the continuous flow units that we have. What do I do with the continuous flow unit? How can I use it while I'm aboard a plane? The units are actually all designed to be able to go under the seat in front of you, and they can be laid down while you're using the unit itself. So you never have to really worry about any of that kind of stuff. I know one of the old units, which I don't even think they make it anymore, but you just have to take the carry bag off to fit it in there. But with all these newer units, they've done a pretty good job of whatever accessories you even have with it. If it's a carry bag and all that all goes under the seat in front of you. You can lay it down, use it, still have all the controls to operate it right there without even moving it. And even the battery, I mean, switching out batteries is pretty simple. Just pulling out the unit, pulling out the battery, and put a new one back in. So it's pretty easy. And that's what I got for traveling. We can go over some questions, and I'll make sure to answer to the best of my knowledge. And we want to try to keep these lives not too long, but just long enough to be able to give you the information you need to answer the questions that you have. And then at the end of the lives, we'll sometimes have something special that, if you're in the market for a port wash contract, it might be a good time to buy, because we'll offer a coupon, which we'll do at the end of this one, so stick with us here. Let's get some questions though, so let's see what questions you guys have. I don't expect you to be too busy for the first one, but let's see what you guys got.
Patty's on here, and she said that they don't have a concentrator, so she fills 6 tanks and prays that they last for the duration, but I don't know. We have some good deals on used units. I don't know.
Yeah, Patty. So I know that the portable oxygen concenrators can look scary and expensive as far as when you see a lot of these prices online. Unfortunately, I see this on it all the time where people are like, "Why you price so high? Why you price so high?" And this is not even us, but all the competitors do. We have to follow. So like when you buy like at Best Buy a camera or anything like that, these big name brands, they have a thing where basically you can get special stuff like Best Buy, you get Key Quad and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, their pricing basically has to stay the same. The reason for that is the manufacturer. We're just a distributor. We don't make the actual unit. The manufacturers, they set a price. That price we then have to advertise, and then we have policies that then we have to follow. So the pricing that you see on the site is not only the pricing that you can get. We can always kind of help you out. We have used units as well, but we're not allowed to advertise those because those used units go so low in price. So normally you have to call us, or hopefully here we'll be able to do it on the lives as well, kind of help you out. But the pricing as well, I always recommend give us a call, see what we have. We have promotions that constantly run. They vary on different units, or whether batteries or accessories and stuff. So I recommend give us a call, definitely if you're in a market now, because there's a great promotion that was running just for Father's Day that you could save you some money as well. I'm not going to be mentioning much pricing here because I have to check and make sure that we're following our policies that we've agreed to as well on these lives. But I can tell you that we have used units that literally start as low as $999. I know we had 2 in that literally came here just about an hour ago that these guys were sending emails about. The $999 portable wash concenrators do go quick. They come and go, so it's not like we have them every day. When we do get them in, I know we try to let everybody know as soon as we can. But we do have used units as low as $999. We offer financing as well on used and new. So with the financing, you can have payments of around $50 a month, even as low as sometimes $30 a month. Really depends on your credit. We get you approved and all that. So we make sure we have options so that if you're not trying to buy a portable wash concentrator for $2,000-3,000, or you do want one of those, but you can't just afford to pay it all up front, we do have financing options where you can pay monthly. We do get a lot of customers that will ask, well, I don't want to spend this money and not know how it works and then be stuck with it. Well, we have 2 options. If you buy a unit, you always have a 30-day money-back guarantee. The other thing is we have a rental program. The rental program, you could rent. They're not long-term rentals, so you rent it for a week. It's more of like you're going to Florida, Colorado, going out there to see family for a couple of days. You rent it for the week. Once you're done, you get it back to us, and we'll get it all taken care of. Well, we can also do a rental program where you rent it for a week, and you spend that 1 week rental. You decide you like the unit, you can purchase the unit, and we'll actually take that 1 week rental off the purchasing price. So that's always a good option too. So Patty, hopefully we can get you away from the tanks, and if you're needing anything or have any questions, keep shooting them over. But I recommend give us a call, see what we have for used. We're, like I said, one of the world's, if not the world's largest right now distributor of the portable concentrator in America. And we do get a lot of used units in. These used units come from patients that want to upgrade to a newer unit, so then they'll actually trade in that unit, and then we'll give them a credit, so we have a trade-in program. So there's different ways that we buy used units, and our technicians in Florida go through every one, clean them up, diagnose them, do all that before they go out. So we got a good process with that. So give us a call. if you don't, there's no phone number on her, or if you don't see a phone number on the Facebook page, it's 1-800-520-5726. That's 1-800-520-5726. Any of the respiratory specialists here can assist you in getting your help with that. But yeah, that's kind of your option there. So, any more questions, Lisa?
Edna was asking if the G3 batteries fit the G4.
G3 batteries will not fit the G4. They are custom made for specifically that unit. So like the G3 is, they always get me confused. I just like to call it small big battery, but since we're talking technical here, the G3 is going to have an 8 and 16 cell battery. The G4 is a 4 and 8 cell battery. So they are two different size batteries. So they are different batteries as total as far all four of them, but as far as the two units, you can't use the two together now.
And Patty said that she's going to call us, but she said that sometimes Medicare will cover these, but her insurance will not. So if you want to cover something.
Yeah, the Medicare question. So with Medicare, the long story short is a lot of companies, internet retailers out there will say, no, they don't cover it. Medicare does not cover these portable concentrators. That's not true. Medicare will cover the portable oxygen concentrators. The issue with Medicare is they don't pay enough to allow a distributor like us to go and sell a portable oxygen concentrator to you. To kind of explain in a quicker note is they pay a distributor like us the same as they would pay a distributor that does a portable oxygen tank. Well, the issue with a portable oxygen tank is those, as you know, are probably about $100. That's probably a cost $20 to $50. Well, with a portable oxygen concentrator, as you see, it's not a $50 or $100 product. This is a $2,000, $3,000 product. And at our price, they're not that far off of that either. They're expensive units at the end of the day. Unfortunately, with the technology and everything that they put into them, it's not cheap to make as a tank is. So when you're getting the same amount of money as a distributor would for a portable oxygen tank, and you have this concentrator that's 10, 20 times more, it just doesn't work. And unfortunately, the way that they pay and how they do it, it has brought a lot of companies out of business that tried to go the Medicare route. So once again, long story short, Medicare will cover it. It's finding the right supplier, and I know of a manufacturer that will actually do Medicare, and they'll only accept you on Medicare, because this is how bad it is. This is a manufacturer that makes the unit, but they will only accept customers on Medicare that have been on it for about 12 months. Like, you basically just have been put on oxygen. If you just got put on oxygen, the day you get that prescription, you start getting oxygen, that's day one. So as long as you're within 1 month of your first day of being put on oxygen, they might be able to get you through, but that's not even a guarantee itself. But if you're after 1 month, they will not, because of the way that the payments work. So hopefully that answers your question. That's the long story short. Unfortunately, Medicare is always cutting down reimbursements. And as you guys have always probably heard all the horror stories, I mean, I don't think that's going to stop. And unfortunately, Medicare is going to do the best that they can not to spend the money. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So if you can find somebody, if you just got on oxygen just within the last month, you have a really good chance. That resets every 5 years. So if you've been on it for 5 years and you're now 5 years and going on 1 month, and then you have a chance. So every 5 years that resets it. You can basically pick a different provider or try to find a portable concentrator. But that it's hard. It's hard to do. So, and it's a process. So you can go through 2-3 months of paperwork and approvals and all this stuff, and all of a sudden not get it. So.
Okay, and Eden put up the link for our travel guide that has a lot of this information in there.
Perfect. Thank you, Eden. Eden's one of our guys here in the marketing side, so appreciate you doing that.
And then just like the offer for the live video.
Yeah, so for you guys on the live video, I want to offer you guys a coupon that if you call in, I'm not going to put a timestamp. Actually, I got to put a timestamp on it just in case since it's recorded. Throughout this week, so until Friday, we will allow you to use a $200 off coupon. If you just call it Facebook 200 when you call, just mention that coupon. The guys here will know. They'll actually take $200 off of the price, that even our sale price that are currently running. So we'll say Facebook 200, mention that to the respiratory specialist, and they'll take $200 off of your order. And then that's until the end of day Friday, and we leave here Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So think we're good. I think the first one went well. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're gonna do this every week around. We'll try to be. I try to be on point or on time, but sometimes I'm not the best. But 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every Tuesday. We want to do this, and I think next week we'll probably do a little bit more product knowledge. So I'd like to get some units in front of you guys' faces, show you guys exactly how they work, and show you just we'll do maybe one a day or one a week, and you guys can ask questions on them. And once again, we'll have some special surprise at the end of every one that can help you save some money on your purchase. And hopefully I can help you with any questions you have. Make sure you jump on if you have any. You can always send us an email as well. You just can't wait to get your answers for your questions. Our email is info, that's INFO, at first, and first the number 1 ST. It's like first place. So it's info at firstclassmedical.net, or you can call us and talk to our respiratory specialist here. That's 1-800-520-5726. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys next week.